Back here on the Steelheads Hockey Show, brought to you by New Belgium Brewing Mountain Time Premium Lager. The Steelheads picked up a 3-2 overtime win last night over the Tulsa Oilers, and they'll continue on with the three-game set Friday and Saturday night at 7:10 p.m., and you can listen to the action right here on KBOI News Talk 670 AM. Cam McGuire here sitting alongside the newest Steelhead, Connor Mylymok. Well, Connor, what an experience for you last night playing in your first professional game. I don't really necessarily know how to ask the first question here because I feel like I have 100, but let's start with it. First professional game, how did it feel out there?
Yeah, it felt great. I've been dreaming about this moment for a long time. I've always wanted to get to pro, and it's always been a goal of mine. And to come and do it in a special place like Boise, growing up here, Dad's played here, and it was a great start, great first game for me. Yeah,
we'll get into your connection, obviously, with Boise. Your dad's number right behind us in the rafters. I talked with Everett Sheen yesterday for our pregame chat. I maybe thought they were going to let you wear number 4, but wants you to carve your own path, and I'm sure you want to do the same as well.
Yeah, I know, BC as well. I mean, BC was here when my dad won the Kelly Cup and was playing here as well, so he was joking about it as well. You got to bring your dad's number down from the rafters, let you wear it while you're here. But I mean, he said you got to pave your own path now. So I went with 11, and yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Now, is there any significance to the number 11? It was kind of just one that was available.
Yeah, it was just an available one, and there's a couple numbers left, and they threw me 11. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into the game last night. Obviously, an exciting one, 3-2 overtime win, just like we mentioned. I told a lot of people before the game and chatted with your dad last night during the second intermission. Your uncle had texted Keenan Kelly earlier in the day saying, hey, you're going to want to watch for his first shift. Don't blink because you might miss something. I think he was alluding to maybe a fight. It didn't come in the first shift, but it came later on in the first period after a big hit. So walk us through that moment and the energy, the adrenaline that you were feeling during that.
Yeah, same thing. My dad and my uncle both reached out to me, and they kind of knew I was going to go for it, but I told them, I said I want to focus on playing and let someone come to me. So I threw my body around the first couple of shifts I got out there, and then that hit I had center ice, someone came up to me, and I just thought it was the perfect time to go. It was a tie game at that point, I believe, so it was just a great opportunity for me to finally get my gloves off after playing 3 years of college hockey, and felt great.
Want to get into your background here in Boise a little bit more, your hockey career as well, but take me back to the last couple of days. I know this has kind of been in the works for you to join this club, so tell us how it all unraveled and came to fruition.
Yeah, Everett was in touch with me throughout the second half of the year, right before playoffs, and Niagara. He reached out to me, and then our season ended. We lost to RIT, and literally told him I was going to come up on Sunday, flew out Monday, and then got here at midnight, practiced Tuesday, and then played yesterday. So it happened really fast. It honestly felt a little surreal at first, but I just enjoyed every moment of it.
So the announcement officially made on Tuesday. I know things had been in the works, like we just mentioned, over the last couple of weeks, but celebrated your 24th birthday on Monday, and you mentioned you made your trek to Boise. That had to be a pretty special one.
Oh yeah, the fact that I got to come up on my birthday as well. I was traveling all day, but I wasn't even upset about that. Honestly, I was even though I was on the plane all day on my birthday, I was just super excited to touch down in town and get ready and get rolling.
So, kind of backtrack a little bit. Now, were you born in Boise, or where were you born originally?
So, yeah, no, my dad, before he came to Boise, he was playing in Mississippi. So I was born in Jackson, Mississippi, and then after that year, he signed with the Steelheads. So I've been here since I was before I was 1. And my brother was born here and then grew up 10, 11 years here. So I consider this place home forever. So
11 years here. You got a lot of fond memories, not only in this building, but also out in the community and in the city as well.
Yeah, I got a lot of my buddies I grew up playing with that came out yesterday. I got to see them, and guys I went to school with. So honestly, didn't know I was going to see as many old friends as I did last night. It's kind of shocked to see them all, but it was amazing to see all of them once again. So
yeah, we just talked off camera here. It felt like afterwards, when I arrived down in the locker room, it was kind of like a reunion. Did it feel like that?
Yeah, it sure did. Like I said, I didn't see some of those guys for a while, a couple of years. I didn't know half the guys that came were going to even be here as well, and it was just great to see all of them again.
Once again, chatting with Steelheads forward Connor Mylymok right here on the Steelheads Hockey Show, brought to you by New Belgium Brewing Mountain Time Premium Lager. Steelheads back at the Idaho Central Arena tomorrow and Saturday night at 7:10 p.m. And you can listen to the action right here on KBOI News Talk 670 AM. Let's go back into some of those memories. We mentioned the career that your dad has had here. I think everyone knows that, so I don't need to waste time to explain that. Everyone knows who Jeremy Mylymok is, and now everyone's starting to know who Connor Mylymok is, if they didn't already. But, you know, kind of describe some of those fond memories. You mentioned you had been here 11-ish years or so.
Yeah.
Do you remember coming to games as a youngster then?
I do. I don't remember my dad playing, but I remember playing for the junior Steelheads and coming to the games and we doing our fundraisers. It's funny, I saw the junior Steelheads here yesterday, 30 minutes before we were on the actual warm-ups, getting set up for their fundraiser as well. So that definitely brought back some memories, and you know, coming to the games with my buddies as well, even away from the fundraising stuff, just to watch it, because I mean, it's a big deal here. The Steelheads, everyone knows about them, and it's just, yeah, for sure brought back a lot of memories being back here.
Now, were you one of those youngsters that was running a circus around the concourse causing issues back in the day, or are you pretty good?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, knowing me and how I am with my buddies, and especially when we were younger, we probably doing that.
On the ice on Monday, right? On the ice Monday for practice?
Tuesday
for practice. My brain's all fuzzy still from the Canadian road trip. On the day for practice Tuesday, just walk us through the moment, you know, arriving in the locker room, getting dressed in the room, and hitting the ice for the first time. We'll get into the game a little bit more last night, but just that excitement level and the emotions that were running through you when you kind of arrived into the building on Tuesday.
Yeah, like it happened so fast. I mean, I got in at midnight, didn't get much sleep, came in at 9 and talked with Everett and Keenan, went over systems with them and just got everything under control. Got set up in the stall. BC took real good care of me when I got in, got me everything I needed to do, and then practice came. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous, of course. First couple of drills, puck was bouncing on me a little bit, but once I got through that and just got skating and got to know the guys a lot, guys were awesome. They're all super welcoming to me, and it just made it super easy to come in and just be myself and start playing.
I want to focus on your hockey career here coming up in just a second, but take us back into those games when you came here as a youngster watching the Steelheads. Who were some of your favorite players? I know a lot of them that played with your dad were in attendance last night.
Oh, I mean, couldn't go wrong with Yabo. Everyone loved seeing Yabo on the ice. Every time Yabo was out there, everyone would kind of grab each other and say, hey, he's out there, he's out there. So Yabo was always our favorite to watch. Galby was also really fun to watch. He was just kind of I kind of have a similar games to him, run around a little bit and just play hard and mean. And you know, you always enjoy watching those guys play hard and just bring energy to the group. Scorzy was here. I mean, I can go on forever.
Yeah.
Birdie as well, and then of course my old man. But yeah, I enjoyed watching all those guys play, and then also they just been in touch with our family throughout all those years. They treated me and my brother super well when we were younger and took care of us. It almost felt like they were a second family growing up.
Yeah, Corey Scorin will be with us in the booth tomorrow night. I know he's really excited to call one of your games. But, you know, you look back at all those players, you see a lot of resemblance in your game with your dad. I know you guys play different positions, but you see a lot of traits?
100%. He knew back then was a different game, man. He knew he wasn't the most skilled guy out there, so he knew he had to adapt his game to the physical and hard-nosed playing style. I remember even after he retired, when he was playing for the Sun Valley Suns, guys knew who he was, and he was still scrapping a bit in those senior games. So he's always had that edge to him. I've heard it from his buddies growing up that he's always played that way, and that I remind him of him a little bit as well. So yeah, I've definitely taken a page out of his book. You
mentioned Jeremy Yablonski. He played a game with the Steelheads earlier this year. He's played a couple now over the last couple seasons when the Steelheads have been in a pinch. So I joked with your dad last night. I said, well, Yabo came out of retirement for a couple games. I think you might have to do the same.
Yeah, I can't see that happening. He's happy retired now. He enjoys being on the river, spending time with his dogs, and just spending time growing the youth game in hockey as well.
Hockey's taken you a lot of different places. So when you left Boise, tell us where you kind of landed.
Yeah, so my dad took a job in Florida. We were there for a year and a half working with the Junior Panthers, head of hockey there. And then after a year and a half, he unselfishly for my brother and I, took a job in the middle of nowhere in Saskatchewan, Wilcox, Notre Dame, his alma mater as well, where he went to school, him and his two brothers. And it was just a great opportunity to go to Canada, play better hockey, and go to a prestigious school, and spent 4 years of high school there. And then we lived there for 9 years. And then once me and my brother were done school there for a while, my dad decided to make the move and come back to Idaho.
Talk about the relationship with your brother. I know you guys just played a season of college hockey together at Niagara University. You guys are a year apart from what I know, and I'm sure you guys had a lot of battles back in the day, huh?
Oh, 100%. We still do on the ice. So we're always pushing each other. I mean, it's always been me and him. We've always had each other. That's it, growing up on the ice and the weight room, and then just whatever, even when it comes to fishing or card game, whatever it may be, we're always going at it. But I mean, we love each other. He's my best friend, I'm his best friend, and yeah, I mean, it was great to play with him last year too. My first time playing with him since my grade 9 year, and it was a great experience to be back with him.
Brotherly love, everything's a competition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we mentioned the connections, obviously, that you have here to Boise with many different Steelheads players, but I want to focus your connection with Keenan Kelly. He was your coach in junior hockey in Austin in the North American Hockey League, so he had to play a big impact into getting you here as a Steelhead.
100%, yeah. I mean, he was the first one to reach out when I was at Niagara, and then also when I finished my my grade 12 year in Canada. He reached out to my dad just with the Boise connection and said, we need someone like him. I talked with him, got to play 1 year with him, and I learned a lot from Keenan. He worked with the D, but he also worked with special teams and got me working on my penalty kill game, which honestly helped me a lot throughout the rest of my junior career and in college as well. So I've always had that connection with Keenan. We've kept in touch throughout the years as well, and then it was super fortunate that he got to be in the position here, and then the position I was in, I wanted to go play pro, and it was an easy decision.
Once again, chatting with the newest Steelhead, Connor Mylymok, here as the Steelheads get ready to take on the Tulsa Oilers Friday and Saturday night from the Idaho Central Arena. Puck drops at 7:10 p.m. and you can listen right here on KBOI News Talk 670 AM. Well, Connor, let's get into your game a little bit. We mentioned your dad was a defenseman. You're a forward. Want to focus more, though. You mentioned earlier tonight that your game is more adapted for the professional game.
Yeah. I've always known that. That's why I left college a year earlier, just so I can get back to my style. You know, the game today, it's adapted much more to a skill-based game. A lot of stick-on puck. The hard-nosed, gritty players is kind of going away a little bit, and I've always stayed true to that. And that's one thing my coaches have always told me. So don't let that part of your game ever go away. So I've just once I got to college, I was focused on developing my skill game there, and then once I played my 3 years there, I knew I was ready to go on pro.
You scored some big-time goals in college. I actually found one earlier this morning that made a Sports Center top 10 back in the day.
Yeah, my freshman year versus Denver, hopped on the Sports Center top 10. It was definitely very new to me to score a goal like that, but it was obviously by far my best goal I've ever scored in my life as of today. So
easy transition then for you to turn pro. We mentioned signing earlier this week. It was really a no-brainer, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a no-brainer for me. The transition was definitely needed. Spent a lot of time talking with my dad and also with my Uncle Clint and my mom and even my brother as well. And we just came to the decision that, you know, I did have it really good in college. I was treated super well there, but we just knew it was time.
All right, now I got to find out how many tickets were purchased last night for Connor Mylymok.
I have no idea, honestly. I don't even know how my parents got tickets either. And then my friends also got in. They probably ended up just purchasing them, but I wish I knew they were all coming. I would have tried to help them out as much as I could, but it was good to see them all. What
was the energy level like Wednesday night, playing on the ice compared to when you were a youngster watching the games in the stands?
Honestly, nothing's really changed. The fans have always been great. That's why people love playing here. That's why people want to come to Boise. And even teams who come here on the road always enjoy coming here as well. And honestly, the fans have always been great here. So it just felt good to be back and to experience that on the ice instead of in the crowd.
All right, as we wrap things up here, Connor Mylymok, you got a nickname or something? Because I feel like Connor, like, I don't know, Connor, like, not that it doesn't suit you, but I just feel weird calling you Connor.
Yeah, no, I've always, throughout juniors and college, I've been called Millie.
Millie.
Yeah, so that's been the nickname that's been set in stone for me.
All right, there we go, Millie. Well, Millie, we appreciate the time here tonight. Great to have you in Boise, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Once again, that was Steelheads forward Connor Mylymok. We'll take a timeout here on the Steelheads Hockey Show, brought to you by New Belgium Brewing Mountain Time Premium Lager. More to come right here on KBOI News Talk 670 AM.